Good morning, YouTube. Okay, I'm here to talk NaNoWriMo. You guys knew it was coming. Some of you have asked whether or not I'm participating, and if so, am I gonna rebel it up again? So I wanted to come on and share all the things with you, including what my 1 week into prep looks like. So yes, I'm participating in NaNoWriMo, and fingers crossed, I'm not gonna rebel it up. What does that mean? In the past, I have been a Nano rebel. And what that looks like is, well, let's start with, what is NaNoWriMo? NaNoWriMo is a community. They have a website. I will put the link down below. And it's where people who have a dream of writing a novel come together, and they start on November 1st and they commit to writing 50,000 words on a new project, fiction, throughout the month of November. And it's crazy and it's beautiful and the community is magic. I love it so much. My very first NaNoWriMo was in 2011, and that one wasn't official. I won. I wrote a fiction novel. Since then, I've participated in almost every one. I think there was only 1 year I didn't participate. But out of all those years, I only wrote one other fiction. And that honestly was my favorite NaNoWriMo year. I think it was 2017. I have a NaNoWriMo playlist, which I will put that down below. If you want to see NaNoWriMo bullet journal videos, all of that is down there, because I bullet journaled my way through every Nano that I participated in. And 2017, I hand wrote the novel. I also did it with my children. We were homeschooling at the time, and I documented every day. Like, I documented the entire process. That novel is still so close to my heart. That was The Pages of Ava, and I will never publish it. It was just way too personal. A lot of stuff came out, but it's my favorite. It was my favorite Nano year to date. I'm hoping that 2023 beats it. So again, if I participated the entire time and only done 2 fictions, that means I embraced being a Nano rebel those other years. So what a rebel is someone who breaks the rules with NaNoWriMo. So that could look like you choose to do 30,000 words instead of 50,000. So technically you don't win. It could also look like, for me personally, I was able to get 50,000 every year, I think except for one, but I worked on nonfiction. So my Wild Sexy Life series came out of being a Nano rebel. Love Notes to Letters to a Young Poet Girl came out of a Nano year. And what else? I think were those my only, yes. So the 2 Wild Sexy Life chick books and Letters to a Young Poet Girl all came out of NaNoWriMo. This year, I have decided not to rebel it up. I am actually going to start a new project and commit to 50,000 words, and it is going to be a fiction. And it is, I already have like the magical feelings of the vibe, because it is witchy, it is cozy, it's a fall, fall vibes galore, and I'm thrilled. Now, if you guys watched my Nano videos from last year, you know that I was attempting a fiction, and it was The Pages of Ruby. I started it and then switched projects. It turned into something totally different. So I did not finish Ruby. Now, Ruby's story is 100% outlined, and I really struggled with whether I wanted to dive back in and finish Ruby. But what has happened, and it's delightful. Ruby, her story, I think I outlined too much of it. And so the idea of diving back in and writing it, it is a wild, sexy, spicy story that I, again, outlined way too much. I don't plan on outlining as much as I did because I still need to have that like joy of writing and figuring out the story as I go. Ruby is the aunt in this novel. So I have her story. I know who she is. I've got her entire background, backstory in my heart. And knowing that excites me to write about her niece. And so that is what I'm working on. I am calling it Marigold because that is the main character. I tend to, as it's obvious, the pages of Ava, the pages of Ruby, this is the pages of Marigold, not the title, just what I'm calling it until the title shows up. But that's what I'm working on. It is, again, it is a witchy, magical realism, happily ever after. So I'm very excited about that. And now I want to show you what it looks like 1 week into Preptober, what I've done, and my process, because I've never filmed that. I've filmed like vlogs before, which I would love to do again, because the pages of Ava, the only Nano that I did film a vlog every day for, was my favorite. So I'm hoping that I can do that again this year, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not committing to that because vlogs are hard, you guys. So 1 week in, let me show you what that looks like as I get ready to loosely plan a novel. Okay, this is a documented journey cover. It is stuffed. It is stuffed. Honestly, I don't think I've seen another one stuffed as much as this one, but I'm getting ready to leave today, actually, to go to a music festival. We are camping at a music festival, Shikori, if you guys are familiar. It is, it's like amazing. It's like you enter this otherworldly bubble. Anyhow, and so I wanted to bring my brainstorming notebook and my morning mind page journal. And so let me show you what it looks like. So when I decide to start prepping for Nano, so I've got 2 notebooks here. So I have my journal, my morning mindset pages, and that is from Kat Riles, that artwork. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites that she's ever done. There's a sticker coming if you're a patron of hers. So I'm so freaking excited about that. And it says, stories of your bones. What stories are hidden within your bones? What does your skeleton store? And it was just perfect. Okay, and then this is my brainstorm notebook. So when I decide to participate in Nano, I do a couple things. I get a spiral notebook. I've always used a spiral notebook for my brainstorming. I love the decomposition notebooks. I got this at either, I think, did I get it at Walmart? I've had this for a while. This is the Sunflowers from the Michael Rogers collection, decomposition. And so I grab a spiral. I print a Preptober workbook. There are many out there. My 2 favorites I will mention are Heart Breathings, which is what this is. This is Heart Breathings 2023 Preptober Planner. I only printed off 39 pages. There's 90 pages in there, guys. I didn't need the planner part, but I printed out the prep part. And then I'm also gonna print, there's like 15 more pages in the back with like word count trackers and the vibe, like when you finish, different things like that. So I will print those, but I didn't need the planner pages. This is amazing. This is amazing. And this is free. I will put the link down below. So this year I chose to go with Heart Breathings Preptober. In the past, and I still might, because I do love Natalia Lee's Preptober workbook. So I may still print that out because I do love supporting her. Those are my 2 favorites. Natalia Lee's, and I'll put her link down below also, and Heart Breathings. But this, she walks you through, and you get all kinds of pages. You get like a to-do list, a checklist, shopping list, decision list, food plans. Like you get, like there's a place for you to put snack ideas. I put no snacking. That's like my rule. Dinner ideas. And then my favorite part, you have idea brainstorming. My favorite, that I have not gotten to, because again, this is literally 1 week in, how it's going for me. So 1 week in, I have not filled out any of this type stuff, and I'm trying to make sure I put it back in order. She even has a working outline, and she's got it listed like the main character at the beginning, their normal world, the opening scene, the dramatic question for you to fill out. It's brilliant. I'm super excited to work through this. So we are bringing that to the music festival because I will be listening to all the music, but I may want to work on my novel. So those are two things that I do. I get a notebook, I print a Preptober workbook, I create my new bullet journal. Ta-da! This is a Leuchtturm 1917. Again, I'm just really drawn to that image, I'm telling you. I painted it because I like to get my hands in on these projects. It just brings it closer. This was this type color, I think it was called Merlot, or it's like a wine name. And then I changed it to this like salmon orange. So I painted the cover, and then I always print off every year that I've done Nano. I print off the poster, and this year, I love this. This is one of my favorite posters ever. It's got the year and everything so that I know what year Nano this is. And then I did like little coffee ringlets. Yeah, so this is, I have not done any, so far 1 weekend, my bullet journal is empty, but the cover is designed. So these are the things I'm showing you at first, the things that I grab, purchase, or start. So we got the bullet journal has been designed, purchased and designed, which I already had this one. And I know I could have gotten an orange one, but I like painting it. So we get your bullet journal, a Preptober workbook, a spiral brainstorm book, and then lastly, my book companion journal. Now, I have a book companion journal that is empty. For those of you that have watched me talk about this is Mari Suggs' creation, and I used one for the Wild 60 Life series, and it is a treasure. It is such a treasure. I'll put the link down below, and I'll even put my video down below because I walk you through my book companion journal a little bit, I believe. I think I did like a flip. If so, I'll put the link. In that, I had my notes, but then when I finished, I had a photo of my husband and I popping champagne. I also had a sweet letter from the editor who edited both of those. I had a photo and letter from my critique partner when she got a hold of it and read it and sent me her response. I had the cover reveals in there, like the original cover ideas and then the final cover ideas. And it is, oh, I also had a picture of my daughter's wedding because I wrote the second book during, like right after she got married. It is a memory keeper for me. When Mari Suggs last week announced that she had a fall version coming out, because the one that I had was her original, and I made my own cover for it. I may do that with this, but this is the vibe. This is the vibe of Marigold. So I may keep it, but inside she's also added fall images and stuff. So I was like, okay, I got to get the fall one and start documenting the memories. It's the vibe. So there you have, that's what I purchased. That's everything I need for my novel, for the first shitty draft. These 4 things, always, every Nano, spiral, bullet journal, book companion, and a Preptober workbook. Now, where am I at in my process? I'm at the beginning, the very beginning. And I mentioned again, so I've not filled anything out in this. I won't fill anything out until probably next week. I'm not bringing this to the music festival. I'm not bringing this. My bullet journal will have notes on my novel in it, but it's really more for inspiration. It's upside down. It's really more for inspiration and documenting the first shitty draft, like the process. I go back and look at it because in here, I will do a walkthrough. I will create it and show you what I put in it. But it will have every day, like how my writing went. It'll have my word counts, things like that. It will be like the shitty first draft documentation. This will be the documentation of the entire novel, and the celebrations and things like that. So these will stay until I get back from the music festival. Both of these I'm bringing. Let me show you. As you can see, I've already done a little bit in this Preptober. I have a to-do list that I have started, which includes working through this workbook, romancing the beat brainstorm. My novel is kind of a romance, but it's more drama, but does have a happily ever after message. To create a Pinterest board, start an Nano bullet journal. Hey, I can cross that off. So I have like different to-do lists. And then I have a shopping list, book companion journal. I have a swap that I'm doing with a friend, a NaNoWriMo survival kit swap. So I have gathered those. Knitting goodies. I want to knit while I'm like as a break. And then decisions list. So I have started, let's see what else I filled out in week 1. Week 1 is really more about the spiral notebook. Oh, that's the rewards. What else do I have? I really don't have much in here. Oh, dinner ideas. I did come up with dinner ideas. And I did do an idea brainstorm. But yeah, that's basically it. Next week, this will probably be mostly filled, which I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see my progress from week to week in Preptober. All right, this is the queen of the first week. And in here, basically, I have like a synopsis. Do I want to read this? I'm still working on it. Let me read it to you next week. Character ideas. I have like the vibe, or what Abbie Emmons, which I'll put her video down below. She did a video about like coming up with ideas, and it's the most brilliant video I think I've ever seen. And she talks about, basically, she calls it like creating a smoothie. And you're creating a smoothie with all of your favorite things, all your favorite like movies, TV shows, and then you change it and create your own story out of it. And so if I were to describe my book in comparison or as like a smoothie, I would say it's Practical Magic meets Jane Austen Book Club, The Pull of the Moon. Yeah, it's basically, if you've read The Pull of the Moon, which is like the best, one of my favorite books ever, it's basically The Pull of the Moon meets Jane Austen Book Club and Practical Magic. That is the vibe of Marigold, and I'm thrilled. And then I have characters. I've got Ruby, Roman, Pixie. This was the first day I brainstormed. I think the only character that I'm keeping is Ruby. So I also have a list for bullet journal pages that I want to create in my bullet journal. Oh, I also have an extra movies, like the vibe. What I will do throughout Nano is I will take these movies and I will watch them like when I need a break. So I have the Yaya Sisterhood, Jane Austen Book Club, Practical Magic, and things like that. Then we have a mind map. This was a mind map on Pixie brainstorming session. Who Pixie is not in the novel, but this is the process. You throw down your ideas and then you pick and choose. And then my favorite, this is where things really start coming together, is creating a scene list. I created a scene list and I just threw down everything I wanted to happen in this novel. So I have a tarot scene. I want her to have a tarot reading. I have a chapel scene, a full moon circle, family history drama. I want to mention that. There's a motorcycle accident in this novel. There's bat magic. She's going to meet the animals. that are her aunts at the little cottage. And I have the first letter, learning how to knit. There's a simmer pot scene. There's her working in her aunt's shop. She has a dream. There's bourbon confessions. There's a prediction. There's art therapy. There's a guided meditation. There's a drumming meditation. A package arrives. Pixie takes, well, now Pixie is not Pixie. There's a hospital scene. And yeah, there's a pockets story, a story about pockets and witches. And so I have just thrown down, like, I know that these need to be in my novel. Like, I know these scenes. I can see these scenes. I know where my story is beginning and I know where it's ending. And then these are just scenes that I've thrown down. And that's where I am right now. Literally just one weekend, this is where I'm at. I will continue brainstorming scenes. And then what I will do next is put all the scenes down on index cards, move them around all over the floor, figure out which I want to happen first, you know, kind of put like a loose timeline in, and then go from there. So I'm not going to, like I did with Ruby, I'm not going to go through beat by beat. And this is just me personally, because as Abbie mentioned, Abbie Emmons in their newest video, her and her sister, that sometimes when you outline in such detail, you feel like you've already written the book. And that was me with Ruby. So I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to plot, but let my intuition guide me to fill in the meat of the bones. So I'm creating the bones, and then all the meat will come later. Which again is why that one image just really speaks to me. Okay, this is week one, this is week one Preptober. This is my process. And yeah, so where are you at in Preptober? I know I don't look like I'm very far along. Oh yes, so this, for those of you that are interested in what I keep in my journal, this is the Manifesting Magic workbook for finding your word of the year. I have found my word of the year officially, and I can't wait to share that with you, but that's for another video. Yeah, happy Preptober. What are you working on? Are you gonna rebel it up this year, or are you going to stick to the rules? Tell me everything. Until next time, enjoy your wild, sexy lives.